warning to coffee drinkers seeking an extra boost. Death Wish Coffee is recalling 11-ounce cans of its Nitro Cold Brew.
You drink coffee every day, thinking it's harmless, but some of the biggest coffee brands are wrecking your gut and loading your body with chemicals you never signed up for. These are 8 coffee brands to never drink, along with a few that are safe. At the top of the list is Folgers, a name we trust simply because it's been around forever. But Folgers relies heavily on the lowest tier coffee bean, and the kind of large-scale sourcing they go for focuses on the commodity-grade coffee beans, where consistency matters more than condition. Beans with defects, uneven ripening, or age are common at this level. What's shocking is that to compensate, they're roasted extremely dark, not for flavor, but to burn away imperfections and standardize taste. That aggressive roasting creates the sharp bitterness many people associate with strong coffee, but it also raises the acid load, which causes irritation and triggers reflux, especially when consumed daily. The irony is that Folgers tastes bold while delivering less nuance and more stress to the digestive system. Classic just means familiar, and in this case, familiarity hides a cup that's way harsher than it needs to be. Number 2 is Maxwell House, and the main issue here is worse than strength or bitterness. This coffee is designed to survive long storage times, often sitting for months before it's brewed. During that time, the natural oils in ground coffee slowly oxidize, even in sealed containers. Furan and aldehyde compounds spike in aged coffee, according to a 2020 USDA study. These chemicals have been linked to mild liver toxicity and chronic exposure. As the oils break down, flavor flattens and sharp, stale notes creep in. More importantly, oxidized compounds can be harder on the body and may contribute to that heavy, unsettled feeling some people notice after their morning cup. Because Maxwell House is marketed as an everyday staple, this becomes a daily exposure issue, not an occasional one. Convenience and shelf life are prioritized, but freshness, the one thing coffee actually needs, is sacrificed. Number 3 is Starbucks ground coffee. There's a common myth that dark roasts are gentler on the stomach, but in reality, heavy roasting concentrates bitter compounds and irritants that can stress digestion. That intense, smoky flavor signals strength, yet it often comes with increased gastric discomfort for sensitive drinkers. Many people notice jitters, reflux, or a wired-then-crashed feeling, partly because Starbucks' harsh roast profiles stimulate cortisol release when consumed regularly. Small-scale studies show consistent consumption can irritate the stomach lining and RA. The brand's bold taste also encourages habitual overuse. Bigger cups, stronger brews, more frequent refills. Number 4 is Dunkin' ground coffee, and the alarm is about how this coffee is made and handled before it even reaches your cup. Unlike specialty roasters that brew beans quickly after roasting, many Dunkin' locations rely on batch brewing systems that keep coffee sitting on heat for hours, which leads to stale, flat, or bitter results, as volatile aroma compounds dissipate and oils degrade with time. Customer reports across multiple regions repeatedly describe coffee that tastes burnt, overly bitter, or lukewarm. On top of that, 2 of Dunkin's stores only a few miles apart can produce drastically different cups due to a lack of consistent brewing standards. Number 5 is Café Bustelo. It gets a pass from people simply because it's marketed as bold and traditional. Reportedly, it's burnt compounds that dominate the cup, covering up defects while dramatically increasing harshness during extraction. That's why Bustelo often tastes sharp even in small servings. They concentrate irritants that can aggravate the digestive system, commonly causing heartburn and acid reflux even at modest intake. The smaller cans also create portion creep. People use extra scoops to tame the bitterness, increasing caffeine and acid exposure. Lab analyses show high levels of furan and acrylamide in ultra-dark roasts like Bustelo, compounds linked to gastrointestinal irritation and nervous system strain. Number 6 is Kirkland's Signature Coffee. Every cup is a lesson in why price and familiarity are not the same as safety or quality. This Costco staple once carried a Starbucks roasting stamp, But that partnership abruptly ended, leaving consumers in the dark about who actually roasts the beans now. That's a red flag for anyone who cares about sourcing transparency. Buyers have also reported bags that deliver unexpectedly bitter, oily, or flat coffee, a batch quality issue so widespread that review after review calls out inconsistency and disappointing flavor. The concern isn't just taste. In 2023, Costco had to recall nearly 2.7 million cans of its Kirkland cold brew because metal fragments were found inside, a serious food safety lapse. McCafe number 7 is McCafe ground coffee. This coffee is designed using fast food logic, not home health logic. McDonald's sources and roasts coffee at enormous industrial volumes to ensure the taste never surprises anyone, anywhere. Beans are blended from multiple origins, roasted to a middle-of-the-road profile. That's where the problem starts. When flavor is thin and muted, people compensate by brewing stronger, pouring larger cups, or drinking more frequently. Studies on habitual show that mild-tasting coffee is more likely to lead to unintentional overconsumption, pushing daily caffeine levels beyond recommended limits without the drinker realizing it. This pattern contributes to sleep disruption, anxiety, and adrenal strain. Know that what works in a drive-thru doesn't belong as a daily ritual at home, and McCafe makes that mistake far too easily. Number 8 is instant coffee, including brands like Nescafé and most store-label versions. Convenience turns into a biological hit. Instant coffee isn't just brewed and dried but exposed to repeated industrial processing, significantly increasing the formation of harmful chemicals. Multiple food safety reports have shown that instant coffee contains higher acrylamide levels than ground coffee, sometimes several times higher per serving. Now, acrylamide is linked to nerve damage and neurological stress with long-term exposure. The problem compounds when instant coffee, quick cups, and multiple refills become habit. Add in aggressive dehydration and stimulation from rapidly absorbed caffeine, and you get a nervous system that never fully settles. And as promised, here are a couple of safe-to-consume options. Organic single origin. The first one is organic single origin coffee. This is where the risk profile finally shifts in your favor. Single origin beans are traceable to a specific region or farm. That means sourcing isn't anonymous or blended away behind mass volume. When coffee is certified organic, it's grown without synthetic pesticides or chemical fertilizers that can leave residues behind after roasting. That matters because coffee beans are porous and absorb what they're exposed to during cultivation. Smaller producers also tend to roast in tighter, more controlled batches, avoiding the extreme heat cycles used in industrial operations. The result is a cup that's easier on digestion, less likely to trigger acid discomfort, and far more predictable day-to-day. Instead of chasing intensity or bitterness, this type of coffee prioritizes balance and transparency. Light medium roast whole bean. The other good option is light medium roast whole bean coffee. Whole beans stay stable far longer than pre-ground coffee because less surface area is exposed to air, slowing oxidation that can turn oils rancid before brewing. Grinding fresh ensures fewer degraded compounds end up in your cup. Light to medium roasts avoid the dark roasting, preserving natural bean structure instead of charring it into bitterness. That means way smoother digestion and a gentler caffeine effect. Flavor clarity also improves. The natural notes shine without burnt edges or heavy additives. But let us know what your thoughts are.